Alright, so I'm trying to do a post commentary here. Alright, so he started off obviously. Pretty good hand. I'm hoping that I draw something, and now I have duress protection, so that's cool too if he's on the rock. I don't know yet. I'm just gonna play land, go. Really just gonna, if I can land any of these intuitions, then right now I can just win, and this is sweet. I have 2 intuitions, so he can't take me off the combo right now. My biggest fear, if it was a blind name Cabal, then I might be screwed if he played like a birds or something after, but thankfully it's just a duress, so there's not really much he can do. He takes me off one of the reanimations, which is actually kind of good, because I need 2 to win off of the intuition line, as long as he gives me Arcanus, which he most definitely will. So we're just going to leave that open, set up intuition for this turn. If he tries to discard me, then we'll fire one of them off. So, and this play is wild, to 3 mana to go for the Ancient Tomb. Like, I don't know, this doesn't seem great to me, but so spends his turn destroying my land. I'm gonna intuition, do the, this is what I call the I win combo. At this point I'm just kind of looking for any top deck of the other 8 reanimation spells I have, or there's 1 in the graveyard, so yeah. Yep, there's, and then I have 1 in hand. Okay, so I have 7 in deck I need to draw. So now technically I can intuition and just the second intuition and just get what I need, but I'm also having my land be destroyed, so I'm gonna kind of tempt him. If he's gonna do this, I have enough lands in hand. I'm just thinking like, well, I can just make him sacrifice all the lands he's playing if he's gonna try and play this game. If I'm drawing lands, I'm happy to have him throw them away. Here he plays a Graveborn, cool. Obviously the extra card's scary, but a 3/3 is not something I particularly care about. More lands, so now coming up here, I think this turn is a little bit of a bonehead play, if it's what I think it is. So play City Brass, pass turn. Right now I'm counting, because I'm figuring out, okay, I could intuition, or I could corpse dance, bring back mom or rector, sack it, get mind over matter, but then I need to sacrifice 3 to untap to intuition to get the next reanimation spell, and I don't have enough mana to both play the intuition and play the next reanimation spell, so the Shallow Grave. So I'd need 5 mana for that, and I don't have enough cards to actually get away with that. I need 1 more card in hand to be able to do that, I believe. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's it. Then 1, 2, 3, yep, and then yeah, so 1 short. So I'm like, all right, next turn I got this. And so, all right, Graveborn draws a card. I'm just like, don't duress me, bro. And this is unfortunate. Now, I probably should have gone for the intuition here. There's no real drawback, I guess. I don't know. I think I'd end up letting this one go, but I think the correct play was to just intuition for the Shallow Grave here. And so I'm just like, all right. Kind of the same situation as the last turn. And not he's at 2 cards in hand, which is cool. So, and he's tapped like he's holding up a kill spell, but obviously that doesn't really work against this combo. So Now I drew the reanimation spell, and so now I don't have to use the intuition to get the next target. I can just hardcast it, so now I definitely have enough cards. So I think here I'm just counting. Now, probably, again, I could have just played a land in a normal land, and this is fine too, but I don't know. I was just thinking the extra card in hand is 1 more mana, so why not? So get my black, and then bounce it back. Because every card in hand is essentially 1 mana or more, depending on what land I'm using. But so here I can use Necromancy to grab the mom, and I'm thinking, like, do I want to do end of turn? I'm like, no, I think I can just do the whole combo. So we're just going to play this, grab Rector, and sack it. So with the mana he's got open, basically the only thing that I care about is like nothing really. There's no cards in that color in main deck that I care about, but I'm just like, okay, Edict maybe is a card that he could possibly have, but really nothing. So we're just gonna let this resolve. I'm just trying to think of what he could possibly have with those, and I think I first go for Terror. Yeah, and then I'm like, maybe, but then I'm like, okay, let's try Edict instead. Maybe that's a more realistic card in this deck. Nobody's playing Terror, at least not main deck. And he's got Smother, which does absolutely nothing, and Spiritmonger, sweet card, but also don't care. And now he's dead. So he just either doesn't know it yet. So let's get some mana. I apologize, I'm slow at clicking through this, but essentially we're just gonna, since I think he'll surrender before then, I'll explain it. I untap my lands, make the mana I need. I'll eventually discard Arcanus, bring it back with Corpse Dance. It'll have haste, and then from there, hasted Arcanus plus Mind Over Matter lets you draw your deck. So I have not quite real infinite, but I have enough mana to do anything I want, and from there I will then kill him by drawing into Kamal, and then reanimating Kamal, and then zapping his face. And if I wanted to, just kill everything he has as well, but unnecessary. So we'll probably see the first part of this, and he'll probably just concede, because at this point there is pretty much nothing. And I mean, even if he had a spell, I could tap his lands down and then move phases and do it. So yeah. Alright, so for sideboard, I'm seeing, okay, well, he's a creature deck. He's some kind of version of the rock with birds and stuff. Excuse me. So, in come the Oath of Druids. This has been kind of my new plan for the creature decks. It honestly is just a good out against the graveyard hate that I'm not confident in. That just, I never know how much graveyard hate. Sometimes it's Furnace, sometimes it's Keg, who knows. So I leave the combo in, but just less of the combo, and there's a chance that I'll get one of my big fatties. Obviously, Bloodflare Colossus. If it just comes out, I can sack it, deal 6 to everything, and then Shallow Grave it, swing with it, and sack it again. So there's 18 damage right there. 12 to myself, so if I need to restart the game or draw the game, I can. I'm just putting in a couple powder kegs and stuff. I actually try to go down a little bit on the Buried Alive kind of stuff. And the Spiritual Focus, it's a rock deck, so maybe it's got some duresses or whatever. Powder keg, he's got a bunch of birds and God knows whatever else, maybe Weathered Wretch, so just kind of hedging my options here. Take out some of the graveyard stuff, just go more into punishing him if he tries to interact. I have 1 mana here, and it doesn't get much better, so throw this away, and this is 1 land away from being possibly the best hand I could have. I'm completely immune to duress. They can't take me off anything. So this is a pretty sweet hand. And there's the 3rd land, so we'll just play some basics for now to keep me safe, but this hand is pretty sweet. There's not much interaction he can have here that I'm going to care about. If he doesn't have a discard spell, then I'm not threatened at all. This is pretty sweet. Okay, now literally this is about as good as it can possibly get. I mean, obviously I could get a soul land or something and that would just break the game, but this is about as good as it gets. Well, speak and it shall appear. So yeah, this is, unless he's sandbagging Graveyard Hate, but he would have to play it during his turn, and I'll obviously be able to see that coming then. He's not doing that. This duress doesn't matter because I have literally, there's nothing here. This is good game already. I feel a little bit bad for him. I got the full house. He's probably correct to take the intuition, but the whole deck only needs to resolve 1 intuition, and with this many reanimation effects, it's pretty much impossible to lose here. So with this, I just give him the... Now there's obviously no correct choice here. Like, no matter what he gives me, he's fudged. But they'll 99% of the time they'll give you Arcanus because it's the expensive one in your hand, and which is correct, but it's just doesn't matter here. I have 3 reanimation effects, so I'm gonna plop down this Ancient Tomb. It doesn't even matter what we draw. I can make sure if it was safe, but honestly, the only thing he could have right now is a Naturalize, and Naturalize doesn't beat this combo. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna bring back the Rector, and since I get to use the Cabal, you can kind of force them to activate first, which means then I just go off in response to their Naturalize. So if, like, that's obviously I'm going to name Naturalize if he does have it, but if he doesn't have it, then it doesn't matter. So there's nothing in these colors that would mess with me. So I'm like, okay, it's your priority. Okay, you have Naturalize, cool. And this deck doesn't care about interaction in a meaningful way, at least not on this part of the combo. It doesn't matter. I can kill you in response to everything. So as long as I have enough cards in hand, but with the mana he has available, even I would still be able to go off with quite a bit. So we're just going to Shallow Grave, and these 2 cards together is basically game over. I was obviously very lucky in this regard that hand with the duress protection, the duress couldn't take me off of any part of the combo, and so yeah, that was just a sweet draw. He tried to play a little bit more defensively. Duress, Naturalize, doesn't matter. And then we just dig, and I think at some point I thought I told him. But anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. That's Dance Academy. Yay. My favorite deck.